call this meeting to order, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Caroline, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bryler?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie? Here. Mr. Clarkson?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull? Here.
Okay. I would ask for a motion to accept our consent agenda for a total of $43,450.50.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. Children, support. Are there any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Clarkson?
Yes.
Mr. Bryler?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull? Yes.
Okay. Citizens wishing to address the Board of Trustees. Hearing none, I would go for the approval of our agenda. Somebody care to make a motion to approve our agenda with the addition of, with an addition for F, it would be under stone for the Babe Ruth diamonds.
I've got an addition too.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think we should address the vacant lots on Harris Road as far as marketing them and putting a sign on them. I mean, they're just sitting there. People don't know about them, we might as well see if somebody's interested in buying them.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else that we need to add? Okay, hearing none, I would ask for a vote to approve our agenda.
So move.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our agenda. Are there any further questions? Hearing none, I would ask for, we just need a yea and a nay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? A motion carries. Department reports. Fire department. Mark's out of town. Al, you got anything to report this first?
Everything's fine.
Everything seems to be going good over there.
Other than work contract thing, but that's unrelated.
Goes on.
Yeah. Building department.
Tuesday we had a planning commission meeting. We had that public hearing for the Methodist camp up there, and that was approved by the planning commission.
Okay.
There was 3 people here that voiced some opinions, and I know Mike was going to talk to Doug Toulon. Just had a couple questions, and then him and Paul are going to sign off on it.
Okay. Is that, had that?
Plane ships passing in the night, but I'm going to be open tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
That's where that's at. And then there's tomorrow night, there's a ZBA meeting
Right.
here.
In
is
the
that
fire
gonna
hall.
be in the fire hall?
It's going to have,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're hosting,
Right.
we're hosting the county road commission here tomorrow.
Someone will get it opened up. We can get in there.
yeah.
I'll be
Like-
here.
like-
Yeah, the key's right there on the counter anyhow.
I'll be here at 6:30.
All right.
Yeah, they come in.
They want
Oh,
to
that's
come
for
in
the
because
commissioners.
They come in
He's
because
talking with everyone.
they tape the meeting or they televise the meeting, so that they'll be in here setting up their equipment, so at 6:30. The water department, there's nothing new. I guess we're flushing and getting things ready to go. And also, I guess while we're on the water department, Dusty has put 2 or 3 new tables already up in our structure up in the park. And we're just finishing up two more picnic tables. And the new ones are going to go in the pavilion, and they're going to be in there. We're going to anchor them in there because they're so heavy. We don't want people moving them around.
No, they're in there, they're anchored. They're in there. Are you gonna put more in there?
Yeah, we got a couple more yet, but we're assembling right now.
Yeah,
So,
we've already got a few up there.
yeah. So there's a handicap one there too. So. Okay, Jane, the library.
I don't have very much. We are going to be losing one of the assistant librarians that we have now. Kelly Gardner is taking a position at the main library, so we will get a new person, but I don't know who that is yet because it goes to union bid first, and that's the point it's at right now. Michelle has been working directly with sending things to the computer man who does the website, and she's found that to be effective. That's working out well. And I have a piece of mail here addressed Burtchville Township Fire Department. So since Mark's not here, we want to be like that.
Sure, sure. Okay.
And that really is all I have.
Thank you.
Second Street? Second Street over there? Yeah. That's old.
Okay, this other thing, it's an old address. Okay. Moving on, unfinished business, the old township hall renovation. Carolyn, would you like to speak to that?
Just moving on, still working on the interior, getting close, but when they went to fix up the cupboards in the kitchen to put new doors on, they kind of fell apart. It's just been one thing after another because it's an old building. So that kind of slowed things up a little bit too, but they're getting work done. The ceiling is painted, the walls are painted, always need, little touch-up spots, but it's coming, that's all I know.
Okay.
And apparently they'd like to finish the interior, get that finished, and then they're gonna go with the outside.
Sounds good.
Carolyn,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have the floors redone?
Yeah, he's going to do that, that was part of the bid.
Oh, he is also?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so a couple days they won't be able to use it?
that's right, a few days it'll be locked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. People will be locked out, that's right.
So what was the original bid?
The original bid, you have it, Jody, I
Is
think.
it right here?
Yeah, well, you had it, but anyway, it was
Okay.
$19,775. But we added a closet, we added a steel door for the front. I
Well,
don't
then that extra work underneath wasn't included in the original bid.
Oh, absolutely not, no. That was totally separate. I can't think, Jane, can you think of what got added? You don't know.
Bunch of electrical. I think.
Yeah,
Oh, the
well,
electrical, we had to
yeah.
totally redo
In
the
fact,
electric.
in fact, that electrical in there now is all brand new. I mean, it ended up, they cut all the old out.
They had to,
but,
I guess.
For all the new lighting and stuff that they put in there. And the risk, you having that old stuff in there and the risk of having a fire or something in there after, they just, got it out of there and put new in there. I mean, I don't think it was that much extra to do that for what they were doing there to begin with. So.
Well, I think it was a wise thing to do.
Another thing while we're on the township hall and on the library is, I think we need to take a look at putting a sump pump underneath the library and underneath the old township hall for the water problem. There was water under there quite deep all spring long. And we talked about, and Al, you might be able to address this, we talked about putting some vents underneath there to open that up in the summer, and I don't know, you might want to shed some. I called around and they said with that kind of a system that they have in there, they don't usually put vents in it, but,
That's why the vents got put in, because it's all spray foam, it's supposed to be sealed, that's
Yeah,
what they
but
say is the
There
answer.
was deep water in there, what do we do about that? It had been there for a while, too.
I think we could probably, when we get the drain work done,
Okay.
I'm thinking the drain might be low enough that we can get a tile underneath
and
the
drain it
foundation,
out.
so it just gravity feeds and stays dry.
That would be
Okay,
wonderful.
well, that'd be great if we.
We'll have to look at it too, but,
Okay.
And that'll go from the library
Well,
in the hall?
just run a tile right down the center of that
Oh.
whole.
See, I guess my main concern is mold and
Yeah.
stuff growing.
Oh, yeah,
up,
definitely.
If
Definitely.
that thing is gonna be constantly wet, then we need to do something, with that, so.
Yep.
We'll try to look at that and maybe address that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was
I didn't
open
realize it was
under
run
all the
under
way
Oh, yeah,
from one to the
Yeah,
other.
there's
none.
Well, I haven't gone down there.
yeah, well, there's lots of room now.
Before we get off this, and I don't know if it's the right time to bring this up, but I think the board ought to address if we're still going to be just not charging people for this, because
Well,
of all the money we got into this.
it's in our agenda.
Yeah, we have it on the agenda, it's under B,
B,
on new business, so.
Oops, I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't care what we do personally.
Yeah, I know, that's fine, but it is under. it is
Okay,
under-
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
If there any further discussion on that? We'll move on to the Worth Township Fire contract, which is still in limbo.
Well, I just got an email from Doug tonight, I was telling Mike about it, and I was just kind of disappointed. We've been waiting a month for a response on the one that we submitted to him, which was basically our same contract we've always had with a few charges added, that we had also added to our own department, water rescue and car accidents, I think, Alan, I can't remember if there was a third one or not right now, but we need to get this settled, and his suggestion was not to, of course, at this point, it's getting too late to end this contract this June 30th, to continue it on.
That's a
till-
30-day contract, you know.
Yeah, and that doesn't even give everybody time to approve it, so, continue it on until next year. Other than that, I had a couple of questions. Do we want to still continue having their standby fee due on the 1st of January, or shall we do it at the same time the contract renews? I think that was a mistake when that contract was rewritten for their fiscal year, wasn't it, Al? I mean, shouldn't that have been changed too, or no?
It should have been changed.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I just haven't gotten my questions answered yet, so on to the next meeting, I guess.
So you want to know when their fee is due?
Right.
See, I think, are they on a regular year there?
Their fiscal year is July 1st through June 30th. It's different than ours.
Okay.
And we changed the contract to accommodate that for them, back when we changed it.
Just to bring everybody up to date on this, is this. We have a contract now that's existing. They're supposed to do the billing, you know, they're slow in their pay, they're slow in everything. And so when they sent us the contract, they wanted us to do the billing. Well, the problem with us doing the billing is, we have no recourse in how we're going to collect any money from them, because, you know, if that township bills it, you know, they can put it on their taxes. If we bill them and they don't pay, we have no recourse whatsoever to collect any money. So anyway, when they sent the contract back to us, they had the contract that we paid. Well, we voted at a meeting that, you know, that we wanted them, the contract to be existing the way it was, and they do the billing and they pay their bills on time, which they haven't been doing. So we sent it to Doug for his opinion, and he hasn't quite gotten back with us yet. So I think the thing for us to do is to table that until hopefully we can get some order to that by next meeting, you know, where we're going to be. Okay, any further questions or statements? New business. We're talking about an administrative fee. Jody, would you like to address that?
Well, we had brought this up, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. The state provides township with the ability to charge 1% for the expenses of collecting taxes. We've never done that before. I think we're one of 6 or 7 townships in the county that doesn't do it. I think last year we talked to our auditors and asked them their opinion. They said at some point you're going to probably have to, but last year wasn't the time. So I guess now we got to keep looking at that. And I had the number, and I don't have it in front of me. It's about $34,000, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Yeah, 1% of the tax bill would generate about $34,000 to the township on the fee. The problem is that our incoming monies are dwindling, and you know, we need to, you know, not only by trying to cut our budget, but we also need to generate some kind of money, you know, for the township too. So, and that's the reason that we're looking at this administrative fee. So I don't, personally, I think there's 4 townships out of 26 in the county that don't charge a fee, and those are like East China and other places, but the ones that don't charge the administrative fee have an Edison plant, or they have something else sitting there as their backup for, you know, for their tax base, where they probably don't really need to look at maybe generating a little more income into their property. So it's just thrown out on the table for suggestions and whatever anybody thinks. Myself personally, I think it's probably time that we do charge the administrative fee, but that's only my opinion. I'm only one of 5 members, so.
Well, I don't know about your cottage, but I have a cottage in Harbor Beach and they charge it up there, 1%.
So I think it's pretty generally, it's all over, you know, we try not to charge it, but I think the time has come, so.
I can't say I love it, but you can only keep cutting so much.
Anybody else have an opinion, or?
Do you think we should give everybody a month to think about it?
I have no problem with that, you know, no,
I've been thinking about
certainly,
it.
I mean, we've talked about it before, and no, absolutely not. I don't expect you to come in here and make up your mind tonight, but, you know.
If we decided to do it, would it be, would you start on the summer taxes, or would you probably do it for the,
Yeah, if we wait till next month, we probably won't be able to.
till
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
tax?
Yeah, that would
It won't go on the summer tax bill, right?
Well, my thought is, we've talked about this for 3 years. Actually, we've talked about it a few times, not just once. I think we have, well, I think we can make a decision tonight. myself.
Well, let me do this, you know. I'm in favor of it, so I'll put it into a form of a motion that we start charging an administrative fee so it's usable we can put it on the summer taxes. I'm going to put that out for a motion. Whether I get a second or not, I don't know. So I'm going to make a motion
Begin with this.
to begin. Right.
Only you should read it next month.
Yeah, because if we wait till we can't put it, we won't be able to put it on. So, do I have any support for that?
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other conversation, or
So this is gonna be 1%
it'll be 1% of your,
on the summer tax bill and the winter tax bill?
Yes, it'll be all of them. I think, right, Trudy?
It's on both of mine.
That's what it's on
Yeah,
in
I'm
Word.
pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it is.
And Grant.
Grant has it.
Oh, yeah, they better want that.
any further discussion? Okay, we have a motion on the floor to institute an administrative fee for taxes. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Apple?
Yes?
Mr. Schweitzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Briley?
No.
Mrs. Trumbull? Yes.
Motion carries.
I've got a resolution which we have to, if I can find it. There's 2 ways the resolution reads. One is that it would remain like that until the board wanted to take it off, so we wouldn't have to renew it. The other one is it's for a certain period of time. So I guess we need to decide what we want to do on that too.
Okay, which, you want to read those?
Oh, yeah.
If you can put his fingers on it.
That's the curriculum this time.
what that administrative fee is going to do is going to boost our operating money is about $83,000, you know, for, it's 0.6731 mils, you know, is what we bring in now, and this is probably, well, it's about a third, you know, it'll raise our income about a third as far as money coming into the township.
How much comes in?
Well,
From this?
we estimated like between 33 and 34,000, and our millage right now brings in like 83,000, you know, so.
No, I do not have it. Sorry. But I don't think we have to, at this vote, it's just that we're going to collect it. It's going to be up. And we fill it out as to which one we want to go.
So what we're going to do, what we're going to have to do then is probably call a special meeting to do the resolution. Is
All right.
that,
I suppose. Sorry. Got everything in the...
well, that's all right, we can, if we need to.
Wait a minute.
He found it. One of them.
No, it's not the one I wanted. Sorry.
Well, we could just wait, and when he gets a hold of that, I guess we'll just have to call a special meeting to do the resolution.
Okay.
Not really, if it was just approved the administrative fee, it just had to, at the next meeting, we can do a resolution to keep it continuous, if that's.
Well, I guess we'll find
Yeah,
out.
we gotta
exactly.
fill it one of them.
This
Yeah.
motion just gave you the right to go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true, but I'd like to have all the i's dotted and t's crossed, you know, so. Okay, moving on. Deposit and rental fees for the old township hall. Another thing to discuss.
I think I would recommend that you appoint a committee to look this over. I don't think we can do this all in one night because there are different things involved. There are social events, there are regular meetings there by community groups, and there are Boy Scouts that meet there, I believe, once in a while. I don't know how regularly.
Yeah, on Girl Scouts.
And Girl Scouts and Little League. And we may have even more with the school closing, because I think some of them met at the school, I'm not sure. So that would be my recommendation, that we appoint a committee of a couple of board members to kind of review that and offer some options that can be discussed. Otherwise, I
You know,
think
I
it's
don't
been the
know
whole night.
that, I don't know that maybe we should have a citizens committee.
Well,
That's on my good.
I
Well, I
called
know, but it, you
for
know,
Gratiot today.
You what?
I called for Gratiot today
Mhm.
and talked to them
Mhm.
and got a little input. She said, oh, we faxed that up. I said, well, I haven't been, I don't.
I think Jody has it.
Yeah.
And so I told her, and I asked her some questions, and she was very helpful, and, they don't have any standard groups, and they don't give out the key. Somebody meets the person there, and
But
as I asked,
they pay quite a bit for that, $40 a.
they pay a person, yeah,
Event, per event,
yeah.
yeah.
But it's somebody that is on their park board and lives close by, and, my question was, who looks at it when it's done to see that they get the deposit back or not?
That person.
And so then she proceeded to tell me that they have a person.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of issues, but I think the reason it's more important now that we take a look at that is, you know, before we had this building that was, you know, it had been there for a long time, and we're still paying over $400 just for the utilities on it. And now we've got, how many more $1,000s the township has invested in it, and it's an asset that's not making any revenue. And it's just not good business to do that. I mean, you got a non-revenue building there, and it's just costing the township more and more. And I don't think it's fair to the whole township to pay that when there's only a percentage of people that use it.
Yeah, and a lot of the people use it over and over and over again.
Right.
That's the problem.
But anybody in the township can use it.
Absolutely, and that's the good part of it.
It's a public building. This isn't a business here.
Well, I understand that, but if it's costing us
We're here to
money,
run the township.
Right, which is a business.
We're not here to make money.
I'm just trying to pay the bill. I'm not saying we're making money on it.
Well,
But if we're paying $400 a month for nothing, how is that fair to somebody that's never used the township hall?
well, and that's not even the maintenance, that's just the monthly bills, the
Yeah.
monthly utility bills.
Now we've got another $50,000 of the township money into it.
Well, I still think it's a good idea to have, you know, I don't care if you do it by board members or what, but
I think
I
we have
would
to
like
make some.
to have some kind of a citizens input to see, you know, how they feel about, you know, charge a fee for using it. You know, I guess, and the problem is, it's so complicated because there are so many different groups that use it, you know. I mean, if we were just, you know, if it was a hall and we just, you know, you say, well, okay, it's $100 and, you know, $50 if you don't clean it, and, you know, that's it, you know. But when they put tape on the walls and they do all the other stuff to it and ruin it, I mean, we still have to maintain the building.
Take off the refrigerator drawers.
You know, I don't necessarily, you know,
Fort Gratiot has a great list of restrictions and conditions
Right.
on their point, on the
Yes.
hall, the point.
that goes out with their application.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, you know.
And I don't have a problem with charging.
I don't either. I think years ago, it was used, it was, you know, years ago, the thought was, the township was making money on their money. And so I think the township board members felt that they didn't have to charge for it to maintain it, that they had the revenue coming in and the interest that they were getting on the tax money or whatever. But we're not there anymore. Those
Well,
times
to
are
be
gone.
quite honest, I would like to see some type of a fee on it, just to pay its way. We're not,
Right.
and I agree with Al, we're not in the business to make money, but we're not in the business either of just, you know, spending it, you know, foolishly.
No.
So if we could cover the expenses of it and every 2 or 3 years, because you know you're gonna have to go in and you're gonna have to do some repainting, you're gonna have to do some maintenance on the building, because it's being used, you know, that's the way it goes. But if we could at least recover the costs that, you know, that we, not necessarily to pay for anything, but from going forward, from here on going forward, I would like to see it at least, you know, cover its own costs, cover its own expenses. Whether we make a dime on it, it's immaterial to me.
Well, I think you should include board members in your committee, though, a couple of board members.
Oh, no, I'm not saying not board members, but I still think you should have a, you know,
They need some guidance as to what we're spending on.
well, I think when it's gonna affect the citizens of the township, that maybe the citizens should have some input into what it's gonna be. I mean, you know, board members, I mean, we all have our own opinions, but, you know, it'd be nice, I don't know, maybe have an open meeting. You know, of course, you know.
Well, you
See,
gather the
exactly.
information, and the board will make the decision.
But the problem is, the people that are using it all the time probably aren't the people that are gonna come. The people that we're gonna charge the citizens that aren't gonna probably ever use it are gonna be here and say, why are you gonna charge us money to use our township hall? You know, so, I don't know.
I don't know what the answer
John, I don't know what the
Mike?
answer is. It's not easy.
Port Huron Township's hall that they have at Beach and Westwater.
Do not know.
DPW building.
Do not know, but I do know that the city of Marysville charges $25 an hour to use the community center, the old fire hall that's in the park.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's $25 an hour.
Grand Township charges, I think it's $300 to use their building. It's 200, if not 300. And that's for township residents only. That's a full kitchen too, though.
Yeah, there's no kitchen in the fire hall.
And you have to be
there's
a
not.
resident, right?
You have to be a resident here too, though. You have to be a resident here. We have to make sure of that. Yes, you
There's
But
do.
what do we do
Well,
about?
Fort Gratiot doesn't, that's not a requirement for Fort Gratiot.
Isn't it?
No, they said that their legal said you could get in trouble for not renting it out if you're renting it out.
Well, anyway.
And you're charging.
That puts us in a business. I don't really like that idea too much. It's not that big a hall either.
No.
Well, that's true, you're limited to how many people you're gonna get in there, 30 maybe.
Fort Gratiot's
30, 35.
smaller than ours, so.
Huh?
Fort Gratiot's
Is it,
smaller.
well, yeah, it probably
It
is.
is. and you-
So they've got a full kitchen,
They
right?
can have 60 people.
Yeah, they do have a full kitchen.
You're
That's what they can hold, 60?
people. in it.
That's what it says.
Wow.
You ever been in there?
Yeah, a number of
Crowded.
times.
There are a couple open houses, and it's like.
Yeah, I've been in there, it's
It's hard to get around, everybody's sitting.
You get 15 people in there, and you have a lot of people in there. Well, anyway, if this is something, I guess we could sit here and discuss it all night long, and
So how many members do you envision having on this?
do I envision?
Well, if we're talking about having a citizens committee to look at this, do we need
Three?
one from
Well, I
each
would-
board
I would-
member, or?
Well, I would, maybe each board member should pick somebody, you know, to give you a well-based, you know?
Okay, well, realize that if you don't include board members, though, these are all just suggestions, you're gonna, and that's fine.
No, I think,
It's all suggestions of the board members.
Yeah.
But the board members will make the decision in the end, so,
Well, the
Or
board
they're
is
just
gonna
gonna
make the
recommend.
decision at the end.
That's
Right.
fine, a couple board members.
All I'm
Meet with
saying
them.
is, I think, to be fair to the community, it would be nice just to have their input in.
that's fine.
Each board member pick somebody, maybe meet, have 2 or 3 meetings, let them go out and gather, let them talk to their friends and see what they think. They'll come back with some suggestions, for what we should do or what we shouldn't do. And I mean, and again, we're gonna make the ultimate decision of whether we're gonna, what we're gonna do and when we're gonna do it. But at least that way, I feel that the people of the township have a voice in at least what's going on.
I think the other thing you gotta consider is when the work is done, it's obviously gonna be pretty nice, so there's probably gonna be more people calling up to use it,
That want to use it.
so.
The problem we have though is like the service groups, with AA and Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, and I don't know whether
Our
we
garden
break,
club.
well, the garden club, and whether we break that down into categories where, are we just gonna charge people that are gonna have like wedding receptions there and, are we gonna eat the cost of?
Well, I think social groups other than, yeah,
Well, the other thing
I mean,
is,
those are things that I think the citizens,
right.
let that committee pick up that, make the suggestions of what we do, and then we'll take it under consideration, what I think we should do, or what.
and I think they gotta consider the library too, because the library uses it more than anybody. They're using it over 40 hours a week.
Well, that's true, that's true. Yeah, they do use it, probably more than anybody, so. But I think, I'm gonna make a motion that every board member pick a member of the community. Try to schedule a meeting. I would, I think the criteria is to go over and they have to go look at the hall and, see what we've got over there, and then they'll make their decisions on how they should go about doing it, and what we should do. Now, that's just a motion. If anybody got a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to 5-member board.
And then will you be in charge of organizing it for them? I mean,
I'll organize it.
okay,
I'll organize it.
alrighty.
Okay, any further discussion? We need we're not gonna spend anything.
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, Eastern Michigan Amateur Radio, they want to use our park on,
Yeah, they've used it every year for years. They set up for 3 days,
yeah, I think it's the 21st of June.
22nd and 23rd.
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
I move to approve this.
Second.
We have a motion, a second to approve it. All in favor?
Who seconded it? Judy?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Mileage for zoning administrator. When we hired our new administrator, we were on the fly, and we need to look at mileage for him, because, every time he comes up here for some kind of a, we're paying him $300 a month, but when he's using $310 in gasoline and stuff coming up here, mileage and stuff, I think we need to really, so I guess without any further ado, or unless somebody else has something to say about it, I'm going to make a motion that the township pays the zoning administrator mileage at the going rate.
Support.
We have a motion and support.
Just assume that we were paying, we paid bill mileage before.
Well,
Actually, we
did,
changed
we did,
that.
and we changed it. That was, remember?
Well, I just assumed that we were.
Yeah, well,
So
we
that's no
did
problem.
talk about that, so.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and when we did when we appointed him, we said right away that we weren't sure. I mean, when you and I interviewed, we weren't sure where it was gonna go, and we need to
Yeah.
look at it more. So we're looking at it.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Caroline, can we have a
Roll call. Mr. Ethel?
Yes?
Mr. Flanzer?
Yes.
Mr. Brunel?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay, moving on, proposal for bike path. I don't know if we want to take these individually. Maybe we do want to look at these individually. I'm going to look at it if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see, in front of Township Hall and the fire station out here, we've never been able to grow grass out there. For 3 years now. We put those bumpers out there, and we can't get anything to grow, so I asked our landscape guy to give us a price on hydroseeding that, putting topsoil in there, and I think the soil is probably from all the years of salt and stuff there, it just won't grow anything right there, because the snow had been piled on there for so long. So anyway, I asked him to, from the north, or from the east side of the driveway all the way over to the fire hall, to put topsoil in there and then hydroseed it for us. And I don't know whether you want to take these on an individual basis, or do you want to take the whole thing out? Does anybody have a?
I don't have a problem doing the whole thing.
Well, let me read it off. Okay, so this is 15 yards of topsoil and hydroseed, rake it all out. Topsoil areas, and then up at the township park, we have a lot of limbs and branches and stuff that are in there, and he gave us a price to go in there and clean those all out, and chip that all out, and they're cutting the grass. I mean, the contract calls for them to pick up a few sticks, but nothing like up there. I mean, it looks like the woods primeval up there if you've been up there and driven through the park itself. So there's a lot of stuff in there and he gave us a price to clean that out. And then the bike path, we've got a lot of limbs, bushes, raspberry bushes and stuff back in, when you get back into the woods part, that's hanging over that on the bike path, and he's given us a price to go in there and bush hog all that out and hand trim, where they can't with the bush hog, to get that back so we can get maybe at least 2 foot cut back through that area and get that cleaned out, so somebody isn't going to lose an eye driving through there on the bike path or with their bike or something like that on the overhanging branches. So, did you run a?
You know what, I didn't, I'm trying to figure.
2,400 total.
What'd you get?
It's 2,400 total.
Okay.
Should we do the township hall separate, because that's Township Hall, and the others all parks.
Yeah, we could do that, that'd be fine.
I
Well,
don't know if it matters.
it doesn't really, because we pay it out of those departments, it doesn't, it's up to you, but.
And I have, well,
Is there any warranty on this grass?
Yeah, there's a warranty on it as long as it rains. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, well-
No, but what I think we're gonna have to do,
We paid over $1,000 already out there for grass that's never grown, so, not by Kevin's, but we paid 2 different times, we paid, I think, $450 each time to get the grass growing out there, and it never grows. And here we
But I
are.
don't-
well, and
Topsoil on it.
I'll tell you the reason it doesn't grow is because nobody waters it. So what we're gonna do, if we're gonna spend the money to topsoil it, we're gonna put some hoses in the fire hall, and every day somebody's gonna have to, if it's gotta be me or Jody or Carol Ann or somebody go out there and sprinkle the thing every day, and it's gotta be wet. Because he said we put hydro seed in there, but if you don't keep it wet, it's not gonna grow. And that was the problem. It was seeded out there, and then we got 2 months of no rain for, every time we did it, we never got any rain, nobody ever watered it, so, it's like a baby, you gotta put a little powder on it now and then in order to make it cry, so. And I think that's the whole deal, it looks terrible out there the way it is, so. Did we have a motion on the floor? Did somebody make a motion, or?
Not yet.
I will make a motion to take care of the front of the township hall, the township park, and the bike path.
Okay. I'll second the motion. Is there any further discussion?
I just have one thing.
Yes.
After we had this done on the bike path, I would suggest we look back into the community workers from the county, from the jail. I know that Fort Gratiot uses them during the week up there on their path.
Now, what are they gonna be able to do there? It's just mowing and, what do they do?
They clip trees, brush, and like the raspberries that are, we get it done once and it grows out.
Well, of course, yeah.
And
They plant flowers too.
Well, that, yeah.
Now, you have to realize that the, what's-her-face's #1 person is Christy Jones, and her husband is Doug Jones, who's in charge of the probation department, so they've got a hotline to get the work there.
Well, we're pretty good so far with Christie, so maybe I'll have to bend her ear a little bit.
Well, she's the one that said, you should utilize
Yeah.
that. And I know that we've done it in the past with the park and the picnic tables and things,
Okay.
but not recently.
Okay.
But once we have it where it's done,
Well, this stuff that we're doing back there is
Oh, no.
kind of major. It isn't something
No.
that you're gonna have a crew go in there with,
right, I was with you when we got stuck back there.
Those same crews have been working over at State Park the last 2 years, they've been cleaning the fence
yeah.
all along there on the weekends.
Now,
And they do a nice job.
do they have a leader, a director
Yeah.
that comes
I
with
have
them?
no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That's
do
the
their thing.
important thing.
I mean, that's what I was told.
And what is that group called?
Well, it's a
Community service.
work program.
Community?
It's a community service,
Work program.
right.
That's just for 2 cents after we get it done.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to get this work done. Carolyn, could we have a roll call vote?
Yes, Mrs. Minnie,
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Browlett,
Yes.
Mr. Platzer,
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
Motion carries.
So do they have hoses? Not the fire hoses.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the fire hoses up.
We'll get some hoses, and we'll keep that thing wet. Okay, the proposal F is for stone on the baseball field. The Babe Ruth field hasn't been really taken care of very well over here because we've never had much of a Babe Ruth team, but now that the Little League is booming, and now these kids are all graduating up to a higher level of baseball. We have a pretty good Babe Ruth team, and the diamond really needs some work, needs some gravel, needs some fill dirt in there and stuff. And Al, did you talk to Joe?
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times.
So anyway, he estimated that the cost would be around $1,800, and Caroline, you said it is in the budget too.
We have enough left.
We do
yes.
have enough in our budget to take care of the, I think it's the trucking of the dirt
Oh, is Mid-Michigan donating the dirt?
Yes.
Mid-Michigan's donating the dirt. And,
So what's the money for?
For trucking.
He was asking me to truck for free.
Well, if it worked.
Well, Kevin.
Kinda hard to volunteer, yeah.
Kevin was in charge of 100 a load.
yeah, to haul it.
Yeah. He couldn't haul it all.
Well, I
Yeah,
know.
I think it's,
I don't have it either.
That's what that even was.
Oh, so you,
No, it's the
oh,
monitor.
it's a monitor.
storm.
Well, wait,
Let me see what it is.
you gotta cover your expenses, your gas and everything.
Yeah,
Leave it up to
you
you.
can't haul that stuff for nothing.
In effect for St. Clair County until 8:45 this evening.
We better get
Nothing will be given
on
as they are received. Authority St. Clair County Office of Emergency Management Central Dispatch clear at
Let's get
1946.
So
There's your weather update.
Thank you.
He actually has not given me a written estimate. He called in this morning with us.
For the trucking of it?
This was, well,
Well,
well, now
maybe
that
there's something
you
else.
mentioned.
There might be something else.
Well, I
that
think
he
there's
needs to do,
still
I
in
don't know.
fencing and stuff. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But he said the total cost of what they were gonna do over there was $1,850. And he did say that, that you need to get something for truck, you can't truck for nothing.
What is that?
I mean,
Yes, it's too much.
You get a nice split stone, the kids love sliding on that.
oh, yeah. Why don't we
Yeah.
just approve up to $1,850?
They have to present the actual bills
They
to us
actually
anyway.
present the bill, so if it only
We can't
costs
just-
$1,500, that's what we're gonna pay. So that's what we've always done with them before, so.
So what the motion usually is up to.
Yeah, I would make a motion that we pay up to $1,850.
Sport.
We have a motion and support for the Little League for redoing the Babe Ruth field for $1,850.
So how many fields are over there, 3?
There's 1, 2, 3,
Plus
Four.
four
total.
Four total.
They work very hard over there too, and they really don't ask for much. This group has been really good about
They raise a lot
raising
of money
their own
themselves.
money, doing the work as much as they can themselves. It's
They
a
get a
good.
lot of sponsors too.
And there are a lot of
Pay
kids
for stuff.
participating. It kind of dwindled for a while when, I was telling Mike today, when soccer came out and it took over, I thought the Little League here was gonna just kind of fade away, but it's really come back, and that's a good thing. We've got a lot
A
of.
couple
old-
of years, they only had like 2 or 3 teams.
Right.
One T-ball team, and maybe they had to struggle to get 3 teams so they could rotate, to have enough to play each
For Little
other.
League.
Oh, the Little League now, they play against Fort Gratiot and stuff.
Yeah, they interplay.
Right.
And we do have a nice complex here, so. Well, anyway, we have a motion on the floor.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Plancer?
Yes.
Mr. Fryland?
I would abstain.
Steve? Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremble, yes.
Okay, moving on, the lots on
Harrisville.
Harris Road.
We have a sign somewhere, I think it was a DPW, I'm not positive, but we just left it down because the economy went to, but yeah, we can put a sign back up, I mean, it's.
I mean, I don't think we need to do anything more than that.
Notify the township, I think the township number was on it, wasn't it? Caroline,
I think so. I haven't seen it in quite a while.
Put it
I
on the
think it's
website.
DPW building.
Put it on the website too.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna try to hold at the prices that we originally had.
Well,
I don't know, you guys, it was before me, so I don't know what it was.
You know
it's
what,
45,000.
45 on those, on the Harrisburg lots also?
Whoa!
Really?
I was thinking it was
We're done one
35.
of it, so.
We sold a couple.
Well, yeah, but that was the.
We sold the good ones.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're all nice.
That's when the economy was.
Well,
on.
the signs
It's sort
can
of,
be
yeah.
repainted, make offer. I mean, I don't know.
I offered once.
You offered less?
No, I said I put an offer in once, but,
We rejected it?
yeah.
How long ago was that?
Well, I don't know, it's been a few years.
before this board,
That's when
Before the economy died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
before us.
Well, should
Well,
we come up
No, I was
with,
on the board, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you
Should
would.
we what?
come up with an amount now, or do we leave it at that, or what do you?
Well, there's no way you're gonna get 45,000, I guarantee you that. Well, I shouldn't say that, it might be somebody out there that
Yeah.
won the lottery the other night then.
From Zephyr
Zephyr
Zephyr Hills?
It's gonna move to
Wants to get
Michigan.
out of Zephyr
Do we
Hills.
I know a lot of people that go to Zephyr Hills, I was
Do
calling
we
a lot
want
of
to
people
just set a
today.
price, or do we want to have an analysis done on what they're worth? I don't know.
I don't know what you did now.
I'm asking for suggestions, I don't know.
Give them a praise.
Yeah, I think,
By a realtor,
I'd say just put
You don't wanna get it.
35,000
You
on
wanna-
it, see what happens.
put what?
Put 35,000 on it, see what happens.
How big are
What size are the lots?
They're big lots.
they're good sized
120?
lots.
Yeah, they're like 120 by 2 something, I think. Huh?
20, fill them in.
Well, yeah, well, you know what it costs. I know. Vandergraft for what, 40?
50.
And you got all kinds of rules, there's no rules
I
there.
know. And I had another
No
10
condominium
fill.
association, so we're worth more than Vandergraft.
They're for
we
sale.
want to set a price? 35 asking price? I'm just
I think
asking.
35 is fair, I mean,
You know, somebody told me, if you get it high enough, you can always come down.
That's right.
we don't have to sell them.
Well,
They don't cost us a penny sitting there,
No.
so, you know, not that we didn't use the money, but, you know, it's not like we're paying taxes on them.
Well, I'd say let's ask 35 and see what happens.
well, do we need to put that in the motion?
Yes.
Would you like to put that in the motion?
Cindy?
Sure.
Cindy?
The other thing you could do, you could ask Shelter to look and see if there's any lots been sold around here.
Comparable ones?
Comparable.
No, there was one that was just sold up on the lake for 200.
Well,
Comparable.
Well, it's close to the lake. I mean, how comparable do you want it?
Walking distance.
It's within 1,000 feet of the lake.
Yes, and there's a park right there. I mean, they have water.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask 50.
There you go.
Okay. Do we have a second motion?
nice.
Not yet.
I'll say, that's a beautiful view.
Oh, I know it.
Somebody gonna second this
We
for
have a
me?
motion and a
I'll
second.
support it.
Okay, Brian, support?
Sure.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. And, do we need a roll call vote or is this?
I
guess
think
maybe we
so.
better have
I
a
think
roll
so.
call.
We'll come to it here eventually.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mr. Fletcher?
Yes.
Mr. Epple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay. Moving on, supervisor's report. I got a couple things that, Al and I went to the school board meeting, you know, about closing Lakeport School. What was that, 2 weeks ago tonight? 2 weeks ago?
No,
3
actually-
weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago tonight. And, of course, it's a done deal, they're gonna close Lakeport School. There's supposed to be some big article tomorrow come out in the paper about how they're gonna do, what they're gonna do, and I don't know. But I had a meeting last Monday with Ron Bolane, the superintendent of schools, and I was down there really kind of lobbying for our little league complex more than anything else, because, you know, it's a done deal. We've done it, we've had our attorney do a title search. You know, there were rumors that the school belonged to Burtchville Township, and if they ever closed the school, it reverted back to the township. Well, the title search, there's absolutely no proof of that ever happening, or legal documents, or anything else. So I made an appointment with Ron last Monday, and I went down and more or less to consider what we have invested in our little league ball fields over there. I mean, the township has put a lot of money in those fields. Supposedly, we have a 100-year lease or a 99-year lease for $1 a year with the school district on those, but my concern was what happens if they decide to sell that whole complex and you know, those fields are included. So at least I started to butt in his ear that I would hope that when they got that school, or whatever they got to get that school, that they would keep this into consideration, that maybe when they sell that property off, that they broke that off and either donated it to the township, you know, the school district donated it back to the township, or that at the very least, that we got first option to purchase that part of the property, you know. whether we have to put a new road in or a driveway or something else, I don't know how that's laid out over there. But anyway, and he was very open to that, and, you know, of course, he's just the administrator, you know, that stuff is all, you know, approved by the board too, but I left there with an idea that will look out for us, and, you know, I've got his card and I can call him, or, you know, if we have any questions or anything else that has to do with it, and if anybody has any questions, I'm certainly glad to look into it, but I thought that was, needed to be a top priority for us as a township to, you know, if we lost that, I mean, we'd be looking probably $100,000 to the complex like we got over there right now, you know, so. And he said he would, and he'd keep that, you know, and he told me that he would advise me as to what, you know, if there was a sale pending or if there was something going on, that he would give me good notice, you know, ahead of time to what was going on, so at least, you know, we can plan some kind of a strategy as to what to do over there. It's a shame. He did tell me right now, their plans at the present time now, you know, if they haven't changed, but he said to me that they were looking right now at leasing that to Porter Community College. So, you know, maybe there'll be something there. Anyway, night classes, I don't know. He didn't say exactly what the plans were, but, you know, I don't think the immediate plan to sell it was, you know, I don't think they got somebody hot with a check ready to buy it. But again, you don't know, so. Joe Leal has paperwork on the lease, and he's gonna bring that. We don't have any proof of any of that stuff, and he's bringing out that paperwork in tomorrow, so we'll have it here in the office, you know, for whatever comes up. Basically, that's all I've got.
Let's get this.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes, I do. This is a bid proposal. We asked for a bid proposal to do these floors here. Here, the fire hall and the DPW building to redo, you know, have the floors redone and re-waxed. And, okay, the township hall was $300, the DPW building was $150, and the fire hall was $300, for a total of $750. And what they do, they come in, they strip them, they put 5 coats of wax on them, and it includes the tile, they do the tile out there in the hallways too, so that's for the 3 rooms, so if you want to look at that.
That's the same price we've been charged for years. What's that, is it? That's it, yeah. I mean, that's been that price since I've been here, so he hasn't increased it at all.
We furnish material, right?
Yes, that's true.
I think there's enough stuff here to do it.
Oh, good.
That's what he thought when I was
Okay.
talking about it.
Good. Good.
This is held up pretty well.
All you do now,
It's a lot of time to do them if you don't want to get too bad.
I move to approve getting the floors stripped and waxed.
Okay, we have a motion for $750 to get the room, do we have a second? I'll second it. We have a motion and a second for $750 to LD Kenner to redo the floors. Can I go to the roll call vote, please?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay, clerk's report.
You know, I really don't have anything. Mine would have been on the old town hall, and we already covered that,
Okay.
so.
Jody, treasurer's report?
Me too on that. I was,
Okay. Trustees report. Cindy?
The only thing that I have is, when we were over setting up Friday for the book sale in the hotel, one of the tables, and I knew it, but had totally forgotten because the last time we had them out, it had happened. There's a brace broken. And Gary was there and he looked at it and he said, it just needs a little weld on it. to fix it.
Is that one of the round ones?
One of the rounds, yeah.
Did you leave it out, or is it up
No, I
set
think
aside or
it's-
something, because I.
You know what? I don't know, because I wasn't there when they cleaned up on Saturday.
I wasn't either. You don't know if they actually used it then?
Oh, no, they didn't use it.
Okay, so it should
So it
be
should be in the
in
cupboard.
the closet,
right
because
in
there
the
wasn't any
closet.
sitting out, I don't think.
Yeah, it'll be in the
Well,
closet.
I'll try to look and see if I can find which one it
Okay.
is. Take it over to the corner there. get it over.
Well, that's what Gary said, they can, I mean, it's not any big deal, but there's no sense in not getting it fixed right away.
Okay, anything else? Yeah? Moving on, is there any extended public comment?
The two parks that are down there, the new benches that you put in are great. The trash can, there's at least one of them by the, where the kids rollerblade.
Oh, okay.
It's just a mess. It's worse than it was last summer, so,
The can itself, garbage
yeah,
can?
they really ruined it.
Yeah, the kids that began wrecking everything there should be grown up and gone by now.
I think so.
They're not on the
You know,
beach now
once they
drinking.
start on it, then it gives other kids the opportunity to,
Jody says they're all down at the beach now drinking.
Well, that's what Dusty
Yeah.
told me. He says there's a lot of beer bottles and wine bottles
Oh,
down
they
there.
can't, it's not allowed there, we need to get.
Well, yeah, but how do you enforce it?
You call the sheriff's department.
Well, yeah, but
the other
We had to do
part
that before.
nope.
still has the no parking signs up there.
What does?
The other part
Oh, up at Harris Road?
at Jetto,
No, we'll get those down.
and I'm just wondering if we can't take one of the old picnic tables and put it down there.
Yeah, we could take one of those out of the,
I mean, but the three signs are still there.
but I don't know whether we really want people picnicking there.
No.
What is that?
That's a swim beach, really.
Is there a small building now on that now?
Well, it appears to be, I brought it up last summer.
That's on the north end of it?
Yes, the gentleman that owns that property also has that same building that he told me last summer was 7 months since somebody reported it being butted right up against the fence. I have no problem with
That's
that
supposed to be a
personally.
portable building too.
We're gonna address that, our new zoning administrator and I are going around, we're taking a tour of the township, and we're gonna address, there's some things that we are gonna address, and that's on the list. Because it doesn't really meet the setback
Yeah, I
standard.
mean, that's unfortunate. Like I said, I have no problem with it, I don't see where it causes any
Yeah,
problems
well.
yet, you know, it is one of those.
But it's
things
still, the
that-
next guy wants to put one out
Exactly.
right on the property line
Yeah.
again, and you're right, that,
And
yeah.
that's, I
Well, I
guess
think
that's
that was
always.
addressed actually when it was put there, wasn't it?
It was, and at the time, he was supposed to,
Be
he was
moving it.
supposed to be moving it.
Mhm.
That was the story we got, that he was just gonna leave it there because he was doing some landscaping work and stuff around in his yard, and as soon as he got that done, he was gonna move that, but we are gonna address that. That's on the list.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I have to say is, you know, you can play it one of two ways. If you increase, if you clean up the township a little bit more, then the property's worth more, but.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that just makes sense.
Well, we have
But
some
if
real blighted
not,
areas, no question about it. I'm the first one to admit it.
yeah. And the only other thing is John LeBeatty's property is still the same, if not worse. And from, just from a safety standpoint, if the fire department goes in there, Al, I'm sure you guys don't want to run into a blight situation where you've got glass and you've got all kinds of stuff. He's got a, you know, you had said last year, you promised the township that if there wasn't.
Well, I've talked to him, we've talked to a lot of people in the township, and you know what gets done and what doesn't get done, but hopefully things are gonna start to get done.
Okay.
Probably 30-plus years of stuff
Huh?
there. Probably 30-plus years of stuff there, Jen, so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I agree, I agree,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, you know, there's a burner there that's going right next to the garage. You know, if ever there was a fire there and the fire
Well,
department.
that burner's going right in that garage, that's a wood stove he
There's
needs
a
to put
wood
down
stove,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so,
Yeah.
you know, there's a potential there. But also the fact that he is on the planning commission and he's in charge.
I agree, and I tell him that
Yeah.
maybe 2 times a month, when are you gonna clean that up, you know? And he looks at me, he rolls his eyes.
Well, the township can do something
Well,
about it. You do have
we
the
can,
power to
and
do it.
that, hopefully, within the next,
I am working on that into a forceful way of also recouping township costs when we do it. We'll just leave it at
That'd be
that.
great.
Good for you.
hopefully, I mean, we've only been about 6 weeks in the process, but we're trying to get the wheels greased here and get things going, so. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised in the next 2 or 3 months of what's
I'd
gonna
like
happen.
to
At least let me say this, at least I'm anticipating that's gonna happen.
I want to retire. I want to retire.
Okay. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Jim Perry.
Jim?
I have two comments, two things I'd like to bring up. I only had one, but after hearing the discussion you had about the rental of the old hall, I just want to make a statement as a citizen that I like the proposal you had first when you mentioned about having an open meeting. To me, it just, you'd bring in more people to the township, you know, than, I don't know, when you talked about each one picking somebody, I'm afraid that people are going to say, well, you're being prejudiced maybe of who you picked, because you're only going to hear from one person that you each picked. Where if you stayed with an open meeting, let everybody have input, and then maybe even put it on your website. And, I mean, I see nothing wrong with charging people for if they're gonna have a shower or things of that nature in the
Right.
township. Now, I think Grant has a real high security deposit, but if you're in the township, you get that money back once they come and check out the hall
Not
and
all
make
of
sure. No, not all of it.
I think
But
maybe half.
It'll cover quite a bit of damage, that's why it's set so high. So they go in and check it, make sure that everything's fine, and then you get a portion of it back. And then you're charged, a lower rate from being in the township. But however, like your public, like Boy Scouts and AA and things of that nature, I don't think nobody charges for that being.
Well,
I think in most cases.
I just talked to a guy this weekend about that, who's familiar with AA at the different churches and everything. He says a lot of them will charge, will pay the church or whoever $10 a meeting. And they'll collect it because they collect money for coffee and stuff like that.
But see, I think in the AA situation, you're not allowed to charge. There's a donation for coffee is what they do, but it's against the AA, bylaws or whatever, that you can't
I'll ask at my.
charge
Yeah. Well, this
for
guy,
that, and that's why they,
yeah, this guy's been in it for 30 years, and he's,
well, it could be the case, but,
because I mentioned the situation about, we've got 400 some bucks that we pay just for utilities, and we're
Sure.
not getting anything. He
and
says,
that's why I could see, it would help. I mean, I don't expect the township to pay for it either, so, but, I mean,
But don't
I
those
know, charge the
instructors-
Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts?
no,
Well, maybe we should. I mean, look what they charge for cookies,
Oh, yeah, they're going up every year.
Yeah,
I can't
I mean-
afford them anymore.
The only other thing I had was, some people see me run around with my tractor over there, working on my lots and that, and I've been approached the last couple of days, didn't you do the beach last year? Are you gonna do it this year? It's all messed up down there, And, I did it last year, it's just, I volunteered it, and I was happy to do it, it needed it, and they asked me if I was gonna do it, and I told them I wasn't touching it, until I went to the board and asked them if.
Well, Jim, let me ask you this, are you volunteering to do that account?
Well, they asked me what I charge, and I told them I didn't charge anything, and they said, well, that ain't right, we'll make sure you get your gas, or we'll take you out and buy you a steak at the Tally Ho or something. So I'm like, whatever, I mean, it doesn't matter to me, I don't mind volunteering it.
Nice. You can volunteer your time.
So, whatever, I mean, I just want to make sure that it's okay.
So is it just weeds?
Well, it's mostly just from the washout that you get the buildup of sand, and then it exposes a lot of the rocks. And when I use the rake on it, it buries the rocks, and you get the nice groomed sand on the top. It's just,
Yeah.
it's nicer on the feet.
The reason I'm just kind of kidding, because I
Yeah.
got a letter to that effect here just, what was it, last Wednesday? Thursday, if we could have the beach raked and stuff, so.
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to do it if it's all right, I guess.
I mean, I don't,
I mean, if you want to cover my fuel, that's all I'd ask for. I mean, it's not gonna
So
take
why
much
would-
fuel, it's a diesel.
I would,
so-
in fact, I would put that into a motion, if you're willing to go down there and do that, we're certainly willing to pay for your fuel. And I think that's something that
I'd be
you
happy
can
with
just
that.
bring a receipt in here and I can sign that and, you know,
Right.
I'd be fine with that.
we'd be glad to take care of it, and we appreciate you doing it.
Which brings up something that we've been approached on quite a few times, and that is preventing dogs from being on our beaches. I hear all kinds of horror stories about what the dogs leave and what the people don't clean up, and is there anything?
Well, we had that was also put into the letter, but, in 3 years or 4 years, that has really only been the only complaint that I've ever had.
Oh, geez, Mike, we've gotten a lot of them, I've gotten a lot of them.
Mostly the respect of the dog owner. I mean, we had Chocolate Lab, and when we take her to Florida with us, we're in the golf course community, and we take bags with us. and-
Yep.
Well, there's bags
Yeah,
down
there's
there.
bags down
There's
there.
bags there, we have bags
down there,
there,
You'd be amazed.
know.
Put it back on the website again, not that everybody reads that
Now,
has
you-
dogs, but
I've seen people down there, and they tell them, make sure you clean that up. I mean, but you don't want to,
Well, you don't.
Yeah, watch who you say
You don't know
it
who-
to, but-
Yeah, you don't know who you're saying it to, that's the problem.
Somebody that's not taking care of stuff.
Yeah, they-
That's who you're saying it to.
yeah.
The little kids crawling around in that sand is
Well,
not
they don't
very
allow,
healthy.
they don't allow dogs down at the county park, I know that.
No, they don't. So what they do is,
They go.
tell them to go to Metcalf, because we haven't,
Something about the bacteria.
But you notice
It's really
since
bad
that
for-
county park has
on the
been there,
beach.
we have very few people use it like that.
right, except for the dog people.
Yeah.
Right,
They send all their dog people over there. You got a dog? Take it over there.
yeah, they do. They do. It sounds like.
Rain, that rain. We waited too long.
That's all I had.
Yes, we did, we
Thank
cleaned
you.
that one up.
Well, we appreciate that, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we're from county, they're not doing the gravel this weekend.
I haven't heard of
I
that.
think we should, well, we'll find out tomorrow night, because we have a meeting here tomorrow. We're hosting a meeting here.
Yes,
tomorrow
by the
night.
way.
Their week's half over,
What's that?
their week's half over, and she just maybe give Jack a call in the morning and
About
mention,
the bridge.
about the bridge, about they just don't want nothing, a whole bunch of limestone in the cemetery and not getting.
Oh, for the holiday weekend.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly,
Well,
like on
let me-
Thursday.
Yeah, that's all.
Let me make-
Yeah.
Well,
That's my least favorite
In fact,
thing
I'll
that they
call in
do.
in the morning, because maybe tomorrow night it might be too late.
That's what I'm saying, just touch base with Jack, I don't even know where they're at right now.
I think they're down the river yet.
I think we're last on the list. Oh, man.
And did, we approved Fisher Road, didn't we?
The trucking.
The trucking?
Trucking, yeah, we did.
Started.
And they're furnishing the gravel,
don't
Okay,
forget to get
if
one.
there's nothing else and nobody else, Mike, do you have anything?
We're too late getting out of here.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you want to get home and watch your Red Wings? huh?
No.
No, I just looked at the weather map, we're all gonna get wet.
Yeah, we are.
He said it's on TV.
It's pouring, yeah, it's on
Yes, it
MSN.
It's on MSN.
NBC.
It's
That's,
220 on,
that's, what?
it's on 220 on
I don't
DirecTV.
think
It's
that
on
on my dish.
159 on Dish.
Stay here, watch
159
it.
on Dish.
Well, you can do like Dawson did, he called up and ordered it for the month.
You can stay here and watch it, you got work.
Yeah, you can stop at my place and watch it on the way home, I'll have it on.
Mike, I just have one more thing.
Yeah,
On the website, since we stopped doing the mailing, I've mentioned before, you can have a counter put on there just to see what kind of activity is on the website. I know my readership is low. If you're only getting 25, 30 people versus 1,000 people, it is information that they should be able to give you. You can put a counter on there that people can see, or you can put a counter on there that is invisible. So it's just information that you're entitled to.
okay. I'll keep that in mind, I'll call. One other thing, we had the garbage, spring cleanup. And I think that's something that we're gonna have to address, because we had a really pretty low turnout for the amount of money that we were paid to have that done, so that may be something that we're gonna.
Maybe almost everybody in the
We
town.
kinda got away with not doing the fall one, and I thought, well, that they'll have a lot of stuff this spring, you know, and I mean, we advertised it, we had it on the signs, on the webpage, you know, so I don't know, maybe, it's like I told the guys, I said, it isn't like there isn't any blight in the township, somebody you think would want to really use that, you know, but it hasn't, I think it's something that we have to look at
Maybe skip a year.
next year.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
See what
skip a
happens.
year and, you know, do one in the fall and instead of having one in the spring, I don't know, it's something that we need to look at. Well, anyway, would somebody like to entertain a motion to adjourn?
Oh, wow. It's not-
Also move.
I'll support it.
Okay. Oops.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.